Hey guys, how's it going? This is Carlos from Los Angeles,
Hey, this is Cam.
and we're here to talk to you guys about a few of our current topics that are happening right now that we thought were really important, and we want to share them with you guys. So hopefully, you guys can join in the conversation, give us your input, and of course, comment and let us know what do you guys think about our show. So you want to start it off with politics?
Okay, so first topic we want to talk about is what's currently trending right now. It's all over any major television network when it comes to news. Is Donald Trump rolls back Obama's executive order on climate control. Now, if you guys remember during his whole campaign, he was talking about he doesn't believe in climate control. It's a Chinese hoax. He doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe it. Now it's really in full effect. So for today, he actually signed a bunch of executive orders. I believe it was six of them, to where and I'm reading it from CNN, you guys, he rolled back six of Obama's executive orders aimed at curbing climate control and regulating carbon emissions. So this kind of leads right into his whole Keystone, the pipeline that he wants to build all the way from Canada through like the Midwest that, those people were protesting for. So my question is, and I'm going to pose this to you as well, see, do we believe in climate control? Is that a priority for us, or this could be put on the back burner? What do you think?
Is it a hoax? I think it's a real thing that's happening. It's going to be affecting not only ourselves, but our children, our grandchildren, in the near future. So we got to really think seriously with this, you guys. One of the things that, that I don't like the fact that he just says it's a hoax, a China hoax. Yet he actually makes money off of China, and to blame everything on a country, and especially when China's been so good to the U.S. for the last few years, why
Number one consumer of all
why
their
ruin
products.
that, by posting all this fake news information, about them, and two, it's a real thing that's happening. We have to protect our air, our environment, our animals. Because again, without that, we're not going to have any living within the next 30 to 50 years. So, what do you guys think about that?
I think, honestly, you guys, I think this is just his way of hooking up all his billion-dollar executive friends. I mean, look who's in on his cabinet, in his office. Bunch of CEOs of gas companies and banks and so forth. It's just nothing but Wall Street executives. And I think it's a really sad day, especially for those progressive people. I think I try to view myself as a progressive individual and someone who's socially conscious to know that climate control is a real thing. It is happening. Why do you think Chinese people have so many masks that they're wearing throughout? Because you can't breathe. The air quality is so bad. And to pull us out of the Paris Agreement, which was signed by 132 countries that agreed to monitor and try to lessen the emissions made, through the air and just improve the air quality overall. I think it's a step backwards. You're not going to bring back jobs in the coal industry because, let's be honest, coal, yeah, we still consume it, but it's not the number one producing job in the United States anymore. That field is, I don't want to say dead, but kind of antiquated.
It really is that there's actually only 57,000 jobs, and it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. That actually are coal, jobs that are currently happening right now in the U.S. So it's not a U.S. issue; it's a world issue.
True.
So if we don't talk about it now, if we don't solve it now, and if we don't acknowledge that it's an actual issue, then it's going to become really terrifying again for the next future. For our future actually. So.
I agree. So, you guys, we don't want to continue on this topic because we got other things we want to talk about. But please leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Trump rolling back Obama's executive order when it comes to climate control. All right. So, C-Lo, do you want to take us to our next topic?
Absolutely. What do you guys think about? Okay, I'm not going too far from Donald Trump. I'm really interested in this. Actually, want to know how you guys feel about his first 100 days in office. So, with that being said, a couple of things have happened. He actually, one, he had the travel ban, and actually that failed. So currently, what ended up failing was Trump Care, and again, he actually ended up pulling it off before they even voted for it because he knew it was going to fail. So, and then lastly, his second attempt for a travel ban. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'd like to try to be both sides of the coin here. So for his supporters, which there are out there's millions of them, he's doing exactly what he promised. He's trying to, it's not called the Muslim ban, even though we all know it is. He at least attempted to complete that. His healthcare, he said he would turn it back. within his first, he actually said his first day, if I believe correctly. But he is attempting. I mean, the wall is not being paid by Mexico. It's going to be paid on the U.S. Taxpayers. So I think he's realizing now that it's a difference between being a businessman and someone in politics.
Right.
Because
I'd agree.
As a businessman, he's used to being the final say so. It's my way or the highway. I write my name is on the check. I'm signing your check. I want this done. As
the only
president,
checks that surprisingly he wasn't signing was to pay the people that work for him. So he wasn't paying. He wasn't even giving them their paychecks.
So I'm assuming you're not a Trump supporter.
You know what? I have my
your doubts.
I'm really 50-50 with this one. No, obviously we want what's best for the country. He is a businessman, so we thought he was going to bring in a lot more and offer a lot more for the country.
And that's what his supporters are saying. They need somebody to make great deals, right? Make America great again, whatever that means.
He's the deal maker, and apparently every single bill that he's trying to pass has failed.
Not everyone. I mean, he's had some few examples.
The majority.
Like the Keystone pipeline is passed.
Not that it was great,
but he has some success. You got to give him. He has some success.
Well, but see, technically, when Obama was in power, the Republicans didn't actually support Obamacare, and he actually pulled through, and he came back, and he got passed. And interestingly enough, even under a Trump administration now, we're still under Obama. He's still protecting all Americans, with Obamacare.
Well, according to Trump, he didn't know healthcare would be so difficult. Remember?
He said well, interestingly enough,
are you serious?
When you have a judge coming out on Fox News saying that, blaming everything on Paul Ryan, saying Donald Trump had nothing to do with that because he's a businessman, and businessmen really don't know, how to look at the ins and outs of a.
Let me cut you across.
It's just to.
Can we say we see a pattern developing that anytime there's a failure, or a setback, whatever you want to call it as, it's not going to deflect directly on Trump. It's always going to be someone else.
I think so.
Wiretapping.
Oh yeah.
Fox News. I saw it
with wiretapping.
I saw it. Obamacare. I said I would repeal it, but who knew it would be this difficult? And the Republicans and the Democrats. It's always someone else's fault. Take some ownership.
And not only that,
you're the president.
Speaking of ownership, with the FBI director, he should have announced. Also, he announced Hillary Clinton being investigated for the emails through the campaign. So he never announced that the Trump campaign was also being investigated because of the whole Russia connections during the campaign. So he never came out and announced it. He said that he couldn't reveal any information because they were under investigation. Yet he comes out weeks before the election and says that he's investigating Hillary Clinton, to throw off, the whole election. So in a way, is it really at fault Trump for winning? No. Is the media at fault? Unfortunately, we're dealing with all the issues now, and now tons of thousands of millions of people, if the bill had passed, with Trump Care, wouldn't have been insured, so, I mean.
Well, like I said, I think Trump is realizing that it's easier said than done. You have to be able to work with others. You got to be able to be, be in politics. You got to kiss babies, right? That's how it works. And it's not all about you. Yeah, you have the House and the Senate as Republican dominated, but there's also the Freedom Caucus that seems to be fighting him tooth and nail, a very conservative branch of the Republican, team, but I don't know. At the end of the day, he is the president. We want him to be successful. No one wants to see him fail, but at the same time, he's not going to set the country back.
And just lastly, I just want to add, we all pay taxes, right? And this is a topic that I have to bring up. Just within the first 60 days that he has been in office, every trip to Mar-a-Lago has cost us taxpayers $3 million, every single one of them. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money because we're also keeping Secret Service at Trump Tower in New York City, the Trump Hotel in D.C. So again, it's all the money that he doesn't even have to be in that place as a president. It's a family, and it's costing us so much money because he wants to golf. So when
it's a stressful job, all right?
When we have when we have so many issues going on in the country, they have to be tackled and have to be looked at and have to be really represented by our president, by the leader of the country, and he's golfing, when he campaigned with this, he said, I'm not going to golf,
No, he said he won't take the pay. Remember, he'll
He won't take the pay.
Yeah, he
won't
won't take
golf.
the pay. Yeah.
You know, and it's all lies once he's in office. You know, so you know, kudos to Alec Baldwin. He's doing an amazing job as Trump on SNL. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's
Love it.
transition to our last
Yes.
topic for politics. We're going to talk about immigration. I know this is a hot button issue. C-Lo, you want to take us away on this?
yeah, actually, I don't know if you guys have heard. There was a case that happened in LA last week. I want to say it was about a father, 48-year-old Romulo Avelica Gonzalez. From Los Angeles, he was actually detained. He was stopped, and his daughter actually she recorded while he was getting handcuffed and put into a black car and taken into ICE, agencies and to their offices and detained. So my question is to you guys: is this what's happening now, to where people are going to be afraid of even taking their daughters, sons to schools or going to jobs or going anywhere because of the the whole fear of immigration being right outside of your home? One. And two, I mean, he did have some prior issues with the law. In 2009, he did have a DUI, which was actually resolved. He actually went through all of that, the classes, he cleared it pretty much. But in 2014, he actually had an order of removal. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, should people be afraid to come out, or their kids or children?
Immigration is a hot button issue because there's so many sides to it, okay? But one thing I do agree on is that we have to have some type of control with immigration. You just can't have open borders because it affects so many things in society, whether it's healthcare, school, education, jobs, taxes. You can't just have people walking over the border freely, okay? Second, I do agree. Obama did deport. He was a president that deported the most illegal immigrants in the country.
That's a fact.
But you got to go over the violent ones. Those need to be the top notch. Get them out the country. If they're a DUI, come on, that's not a violent crime.
Technically, in California, that's considered a misdemeanor. So
yeah, it's not a violent crime.
It's not a it's not a huge.
It
would have been a huge case if something else would have happened while drinking and driving. Thankfully, nothing happened in this case. But the fact that the guy has lived, this Romulo has lived in the country more than 20 years, has 2 U.S. citizen daughters, and he was detained and deported, even though he had fixed whatever he had to fix.
I'm scared that California might turn into like Arizona, where they pull you over for anything and you have to show proof of citizenship. And also, I'm really glad that California is pushing, I don't know if you saw it on the news the other night, City of Pasadena had a town hall meeting, and they're pushing it for Pasadena to be a sanctuary city. California, we live in such a diverse area.
We're borderline with Mexico, so it'll be really hard to get 11 million people in the U.S., and trending even more, out of the country, out of the state. I feel I do agree with you. If you're a criminal, this is the land of the free until you're taking that back. So if you're gonna be committing crimes, there should be a punishment.
But then there's so many sub layers to immigration too, because what about the kids that were brought here? What about the kids that were born here that are U.S. citizens but their parents are? It's so complicated that it's not. I don't think it's going to be a blanket fix, but I think it's a topic that definitely needs to be addressed. Okay. And definitely need to be.
So you guys let us know. We can talk all day, but we just want to know your opinion on this, you guys. If you're interested in this topic, if you have your own ideas, your own, experiences that you guys might want to share with us, let us know your stories and comment below. You can reach out to us via email as well, and we can talk it up. Whenever we share more stories with you guys about hot trending topics. So. I just thought it was an interesting one, being the fact that it's happening right now, not just with Mexican Americans, but also, or Mexican immigrants, but, there's a lot of Latinos, there's a lot of Muslims, Asians, all over from everywhere, African Americans who are being affected by this as well, because racially profiled,
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's something that's happening, so we just got to make sure that, we wanted to create the awareness. So
exactly. I couldn't agree more. So you guys leave your comments below. If you have, again, personal stories, please do leave it below.
Share with us.
We will answer the comments. Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna move on to entertainment. This is what's trending in entertainment right now. So I want to kick it off. Our girl Lindsay is back in the news.
Lindsay Lohan.
Actually, she's been gone for some time. She's been living in London, England, right?
She's been gone in Europe for the
She's
last
been
few
gone.
years.
Good riddance. Oh, did I say that out loud?
She was actually on a Broadway show, I believe. Yeah, she was in Broadway out in
London.
In London, yeah.
Yeah. So she's been trying to change. I mean, she's not some 18-year-old anymore.
And she actually, from what I understand, she turned into Muslim. She converted into, yeah. She was being
I didn't
criticized.
see her with no hijab on.
She was being criticized by that, by the way, but she really wants to change her life around. And part of the interview that I saw with her, I believe she had mentioned she turned into being a Muslim.
I mean,
yeah.
kudos to her. Yeah. Kudos to her. But yeah, she's shopping.
I'm glad she was allowed back in the country though. Anyway.
Stop it. All right, guys. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but she is shopping a new reality show called Prank. So the premise of this reality show she's shopping around is that she takes over your social media, whatever that is, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
YouTube,
all the above. She takes it over for 24 hours, and you have to do whatever it is, I guess, that she posts on your feed in order for you to continue to like move in the process and gain money or prizes or whatever it is. My initial thoughts are 2 thumbs down.
It's
dumb.
It's not gonna work. First of all, you need a security password to get into anyone's social media.
Besides that,
especially if you're in a relationship. No, I'm just kidding. But with that being said, I feel no, that's not the right way to come back. I feel she's Lindsay Lohan. She Parent Trap. She's got
them days are long gone, buddy.
So many movies, and she's a great actress, you know. And I think that
I wouldn't use the word great though.
She's a good actress, you know. She's very talented. She's a Hollywood kid, and we see it, you know, with Amanda Bynes. You know, we've seen it so many times, you know, with younger kids in the generation in Hollywood, you know, who grow up.
The only one that came back from being a Hollywood kid is Robert Downey Jr. Had a successful career.
But it took him a long time. You know, he didn't come back with Prank, you know, but he came back. Why
you got to do quotations?
Because it's not going to work. As much as I like Lindsay Lohan, I'm rooting for her. I just
where's the optimism?
It's not. What do you guys think? You know, let us know if you're a Lindsay fan.
Are you going to be watching?
I guess the ratings will really reveal if you're watching or not. So, you know, we'll keep you guys tuned with that. But someone else that I think might be in a little bit better place with reality shows is this girl, Danielle Regali. She's a Cash Me Outside girl.
Oh, Lord.
14 years old. She's turned 14 years old a few days ago. My initial thoughts about this is...
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Backtrack. How did she become popular? Because I think you got to give us a backstory. Because all I've seen from her is TMZ.
So if you guys don't know, Dr. Phil has a show. It's called the Dr. Phil Show. And what ended up happening, she came on the show with her mom. The whole point of the show was that her mom was accusing her of being disrespectful to the mom, you know, by hitting her, calling her names, and she wanted Dr. Phil to set her straight in a way. So she comes on the show. They were, you know, having a conversation on the show, and the mom says, you know, I'm just gonna flip you off. The girl gets up off her chair, goes over to the mom, and says, I'm gonna hit you right now. So Dr. Phil says, you know, sit down, go back to your chair, or nothing's going to happen, you're just a kid, you know? So the girl says, Cash Me Outside, you know, where Dr. Phil asked, you know, what does that mean? And she replied by saying, how about that? You know, so how about that means that technically she wants to find you outside for some fighting, you know? Where that went viral. It went instantly, it went viral. It went all over, she's been all over LA. As a matter of fact, her mom and her got banned from an airline because they got into a fight in the airline, flying back home to Dallas, Texas, or I think they were from Dallas. But anyway, now she's back in LA, and guess what? She got a contract for a reality show.
Why?
Because that's part of our society is, you know, this, you know, and interestingly enough, she was on TMZ a few days ago, and she criticized Kim Kardashian, saying that, you know, the way she became famous was through a sex tape, and that she hasn't even had a sex tape yet to become famous. So that she's a real actress, that she's in LA to become really famous. And I mean, what do you think?
I think this is what's wrong with America. This is why people don't like Americans because we will reward the most stupidest of things. I don't want to say people. Seriously.
Interesting.
Interesting
word.
You're rewarding her with a reality show?
It's a reality show.
For being a rebellious teen. Okay. I mean, I remember watching, back in high school, don't date me, you guys. You know, watching these rebellious teens, and they would send them to boot camp, scared straight.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're getting reality shows? Are you kidding me? But I blame TMZ for this. You guys should have never started following her, never giving her the Twitter followers or whatever. It's a waste of time. I will not be watching. Delete.
Well, I'm with you on that. It's obviously very passionate about.
Yes, I am.
But what do you guys think? I'm really shocked. That she even was considered for a reality show. One, and then two, we're not really recognizing the people that should be recognized. We have so much talent and so much greatness in our country that why are we going with someone who? And don't get me wrong. She's only 14 years old. So
I get it, yeah.
I actually, and I'm not blaming, I'm no one to blame anyone, but at a point you have to hold someone responsible for their actions, especially if they're a minor. So in this case, the parents, I don't know the full story. I understand that, the mom had issues with her regarding conduct. So I just, it's a sad story because given all that power and responsibility and money at such a young age, like 14 years old, to me, I feel like we're really throwing that away, and there's a lot more people that would need it, who are really talented, who are really, making things happen, in our country. So, I mean, that's my thought,
Are you guys going to watch? Are you about to watch Catch Me Outside? Follow her on social media?
Besides the catchphrase,
how about that?
What is there really... Anything else that we need to know about her? I don't know. You guys can tell us.
Yeah, maybe we're missing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's transition into what's trending on social media. So for this topic...
Who doesn't like social media?
I know, right? So for this topic, we're going to talk about the number one trending person right now on social media. Can you guys guess who that is?
And it's not... It is Tomi Lahren. Oh, God, you guys. So Tomi Lahren, if you guys share a little bit about her, 24-year-old conservative from Dallas. She actually went on The View. She was actually a reporter for Blaze.
I wouldn't say reporter. Was she really...
A commentator?
There you go.
Commentator for Blaze.
Thank you.
She talked about politics. She's a huge Republican.
Very conservative.
A huge Trump supporter. But there was a little twist when she was on The View. A few years back, she had came out really strongly saying that she wasn't pro-choice on her show on Blaze, and she was, credited by the network and her fans. And she's only 24 years old, which is, you have to give her credit, And she holds about 5.4 million followers, which is amazing, for someone that young. And she really has a lot to bring on the table. And she's really passionate about her, her label and her brand and what she's all about. Until, here it is. She was on The View last week, and she actually came out and said that she was pro-choice now, that the government shouldn't tell a woman what to do with her body.
And they shouldn't.
And, which they shouldn't, obviously, she's knows her policies and what she believes in, which they shouldn't. So she comes out and says, I'm pro-choice. The government shouldn't tell me what I can and can't do with my body. So it goes viral. And she's taking now back what she had primarily said a couple years back,
But pretty much what she stands for.
And the network wasn't really happy about that. The next day, she was banned from Blaze. And the story it's still unfolding right now, but from what I understand, what I'm being told is that she actually went back to the network. They wanted to suspend her for 6 months. Without her coming back to the show, they were going to pay off the 6 months salary. Yeah. Okay. They were going to pay off the 6 month salary, and
she should have took the deal, girl.
But she couldn't. She couldn't apply for another job. She couldn't go to a different network. So technically, what's going to end up happening? She's fighting back, saying that they're suspending her with no reason. Or no probable cause. So she's saying, I want to get paid my 6 months, and I want to be able to go to a different network, which is, I'm thinking Fox News. Might pick her up. I don't see CNN. I don't really see. I
Well,
don't see.
CNN always have the liberal, the conservative. They try to have different point of views. So
You know,
maybe she
see,
could be a guest commentator
she
every
might.
now and again. I don't know. Listen, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I've heard about this girl. Obviously, she's made some radical statements, especially with the whole Black Lives Matter. Her and Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club got into it. So that's how I kind of knew about who she is. Obviously, I do not watch The Blaze. I don't know what that is. Not interested. Now, she, to me, if you ask me, is merely used as a puppet for conservative media. And the minute she actually used her brain and said what she really felt in her heart, that was it
Kind
for
of
her.
blew it for
Now, I got to give her credit. She does have a voice. I mean, having 5.4, whatever, 5 million,
over 5 million.
over 5 million,
followers.
regardless, she has a platform. Yeah. She has a platform. So, should she have been suspended? I don't know. Is she going to get another chance? I think so. She has a voice. Somebody's going to tune in. 5 million people tune into her.
So with that being said, my question to everybody is, should employers get involved in your personal thoughts and opinions and beliefs in order to,
On
to
like
keep
social media, you mean?
to keep
Or
you anything? It could be maybe not on the clock, but off the clock. If you're just saying something that you
just
believe
having a
in,
conversation, or
and it
whatever.
goes against with whatever the employer believes. Does that give them a right to ban you or suspend you or fire you from a job? Do you guys have any stories of that happening to you guys or anyone you guys may know? Share them with us. We want to know. Or on social media, for example, if you guys post anything on social media, and before you know it, your boss is calling you into the office.
There's a lot of companies, though. There's a lot of companies now that make you sign a social media policy that you cannot talk bad about the company.
I know California is one of them.
I know California. Yeah, California is
yeah.
really big on that. So, you guys let us know.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, I think
this was fun for being our first show. Man, guys, let us know if you guys like it. Your true, honest opinion, feedback. We'll take it all. We're starting this
Good, bad, and the
YouTube.
ugly.
So we just want to entertain you guys for a while. It's really crazy out there right now with everything that's happening. So hopefully we can bring a little bit of entertainment to your guys' home.
So before we sign off, I just want to remind you guys, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. We will definitely greatly appreciate it. Leave whatever comments below. We will check and respond. All I ask is be respectful, especially to difference of opinions, because we are covering politics, government, a lot of hot button issues. So just be respectful in the comment. As for me, I just want to say stay informed, stay awake, and participate in what's going on. Stay active.
For me, I just want to end it with, obviously this is one of the people that I look up to very much, one of my best friends, and so I'm glad we're doing this together, so I couldn't have done it with anybody else. So I'm really happy for that, and just stay true to yourself, and what do you like, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, okay? So with that being said, you guys, we'll see you guys next time, and with some more topics, and hopefully you guys will like. Cool?
All right.
Bye, guys.